If you want to qualify for the Dreamhack semifinals and finals, well, you clicked on the right video. In this video, I will show you guys how you can qualify for the semifinals and also the finals. I will include things such as the best ways to play around the format, how to do well in the actual game, aka the best way to rotate and the best way to get eliminations, and also most importantly, I will include how many points you need to get in order to move on to the semifinals and then finals. Alright, so this information is very important if you want to do well in the Dreamhack Online Open. So I definitely recommend watching the whole thing so you have a greater chance in qualifying. Because I know last month a lot of you guys have been DMing me saying that I helped you guys qualify to the finals. So I'm really glad to see that, and I hope I can do it this month again. Now of course, with all of the new items and changes in season 4, these tips and tricks are gonna be different from last season. But before we do jump into this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because you already know we cover all of these tournaments, and also I give you some information on how to pop off in these tournaments. And also use code KINGCAS-YT in the item shop. If you DM me a picture of you using my code on Twitter, I will shout you guys out in the next video. So shout out to all of these people right here. Thank you all so much. And by the way, my Twitter is down in the description. But okay, now let's jump into this video. So first, let's start off with the formats. Now I covered all of the details in my previous video. So if you want to, go ahead and check that out. It's gonna be down below in the description and also in the top right corner. That video definitely provides some good information about this tournament, including the prize pools, how to register, and much more. But okay, so if we look at this format, we can see that you get 60 points from placement alone, right? So if you add all of these placement points up, it equals to 60 points. And of course, each elimination is 5 points, and you can get up to 20 eliminations. But now you may ask, how should I play and what should my playstyle be in order to get the most amount of points? Well, I'm here to answer that question. So it doesn't look like you need to be a certain division to participate in this tournament. Therefore, anyone can participate. Now, of course, you do have to register, but I mean, anyone can do that. So knowing this information, we will know what playstyle you should use. So up first, we need to determine how many games we have. So as you can see, we have 10 games to play, and of course, it lasts 3 hours. So what I would recommend is double keying for around 2 to 3 games maybe. I would not do it for more than 3. But yeah, the lobbies are gonna be pretty bad, since again, anyone can play in this tournament. And also just know you're gonna go against Switch, mobile, console players. So especially if you're PC, you have a great advantage. But like, even if you're console, well, you're gonna go against mobile players. Because I'm pretty sure Android can play, right? I don't know, leave that down in the comments. But once you got a decent amount of points, well then this is where you should play much smarter. And when I say playing smarter, by that I mean actually making smart rotates. And now before I show you how many points you need to get in order to qualify for the semifinals and the finals, let's go over a strategy which will help you get to the end game guaranteed. And if we go to Fortnite.gg, which was known as lootlake.info, I will show you how to make those smart rotates and never get pushed in mid-game. So let's take a zone. Let's say the zone pulls right here. You should rotate to the dead side of the zone. Now if you somehow don't know what that is yet, well, it's basically the side of the zone with the least amount of players. So if you think about it, right, everyone from all of these POIs, they're gonna rotate to this half of the zone. But of course, you want to do the opposite. So where you want to go is actually back here. So if you see my cursor, you're gonna be around this area. Barely anyone is gonna be on this side, because I mean, no one is gonna rotate from the water. But yeah, this guarantees you an uncongested side of the zone. So now let's say the zone pulls somewhere around, I don't know, here or whatever, right? So you have a free rotate. You can literally just walk in without seeing anyone. Now if you would be on this side, you would have to go around so many players and risk getting pushed. So once again, rotating dead side of the zone is super important if you want to pop off in any tournament basically, but especially in the Dreamhack, because there's so much placement to be earned. Okay, and now let's go over how many points you actually need in order to qualify, and then after that I'll give you an outline of what your games should look like. So I will include how many placement points you need to get per game and also how many eliminations. And it's actually much easier than you thought. So if we take a look at last month's Dreamhack, we can get a very good number on how many points you actually need. So this month's format is the exact same as last month's. So obviously the amount of points you need are going to be super close. So as I mentioned in my previous video about the Dreamhack, you need to be top 750 in order to qualify. So for NA East, it is 341 points to move on to the semifinals. For Europe, it is 377. And then finally for NA West, it is 308. So there is a pretty big difference between regions. And of course, don't forget that you do get 2 chances to qualify. So there's Heat 1 and Heat 2, which means that top 1,500 players do move on to the semifinals. And in a second, I will show you guys how easy it actually is to qualify to the semifinals. But before we do that, let's go over how many points you need in order to qualify for the finals. So as you can see, you need to be top 100 from the semifinals to move on to the finals. So once again, if we go to the Fortnite tracker, we will see the exact numbers. For NA East, you have to have 281 points to move on to the finals. Now of course, these points are much lower than the opens, or I mean the heats, because the competition is much less. But yeah, for Europe, it is 287 points, and then for NA West, it is 281 as well, just like NA East. And now guys, I will show you that to qualify for the semifinals is not that difficult. So let's just pick the NA East region, which required 341 points to qualify. So looking at the format once again, as I mentioned, you get 60 points just from placement. So if we do some very complicated math and divide 341 points by 10, which is the amount of games you get to play, you end up with 34.1 points per game. 0.1 points. That sounds so weird. But yeah, all you need to do is just average 34 points per game. So let's take a look what placement that is. So without any eliminations at all, you will need to average top 17th placement. Now yes, this does sound kind of difficult, but again, this assumes you have literally no eliminations throughout the whole match, or I mean throughout the whole tournament actually, which is of course super unrealistic. Simply getting 1 elimination per game will give you 50 points, which will bring your average placement down to top 21. Now getting 10 eliminations throughout the whole tournament is once again unrealistic. Like especially in the early lobbies, you can easily drop like 5 to 10 eliminations. So if we look at Wheat, who plays top 750, he got 1.67 average eliminations. So his average placement was 27.3 and he only played 9 games. So if you manage your time correctly, you can easily play 10 games, therefore bringing your average placement down way more. And if we take a look at his match history, it is not that good. So first game, yes, he did pretty well, 5th place and 3 eliminations. Second game was alright, 25th place and 1 elimination. Then again, staying consistent, 5th place and 4 eliminations. But take a look at this, 39th place, 0 eliminations. 94th place, 0 eliminations. 43rd place, 0 eliminations once again. Now because of all of these bad games, he got in a pretty bad lobby and he managed to win with 5 eliminations. But then once again, look, 29th place, 0 eliminations. And then for his final game, he got 5th place with 2 eliminations, with 1 more game remaining, but I'm assuming he had no time. But getting into the semifinals gives you nothing. So of course, you have to get into the finals to earn money. So let's go over how to do just that. So once again, NA East, it was 281 points to qualify for the finals. And once again, looking at the match history is super important. So take a look at this, guys. He got 72nd place with no eliminations at all. And then for his second game, he got 16th place with 2 eliminations, which is pretty solid. And then right here, this was a very good game for him with 2nd place and 6 eliminations. But then once again, once they have a pop-off game, people do pretty bad in the other games. So he got 60th place with 0 eliminations. Then he got 27th place with 1 eliminations, which is alright. And then 25th with 2 eliminations. 4th place with 3 eliminations, pretty solid game right there. And then finally, he got 30th place with 1 elimination, but he only played 8 matches out of 10. But yeah, if we look at the average eliminations and average placement, it is 1.88 and the placement is basically 30. So this is very doable and I'm sure some of you guys can do it. You just have to play with confidence. And of course, it is super important to practice. But yeah boys, I hope this video did help you guys out. If it did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also consider joining the membership program, which I can give you exclusive coaching. To the start, I can actually coach you in Dreamhack. Oh, and of course, use code KingCast-YT. But that is gonna be the end of this video. Peace out.